Dear learner, I welcome you all to the MOOC on Principle of Electrical Sciences. I am Dr. Sanjay Agrawal, Associate Professor in Electrical Engineering, School of Engineering and Technology, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi. So in previous session, we discussed construction and working principle of DC generator. We have also derived an EMF equation of DC generator. Dear learner, in this session, we would discuss different type of DC generator like separately excited DC generator. Under self-excited DC generator category, series bound, shunt bound and compound bound generator would be discussed. As you know, DC generator are generally classified according to the methods of their field excitation. On the basis of this criteria, they can be classified as first separately excited DC generator, then self-excited DC generator again can be classified like first one is shunt bound DC generator, second is series bound DC generator and third one is compound bound DC generator. Furthermore, compound bound generator can be classified as long shunt and short shunt. Except this generator, there are also permanent magnet type DC generator. In these generators, no field binding is placed around the poles. The field produced by the poles of this machine fairly remains constant, although these machines are very compact but are used only in small sizes like dynamos in the automobiles. The main disadvantage of this machine is that the flux produced by the magnet deteriorates with the passage of the time that changes the characteristic of the machines. Now I am going to discuss separately excited DC generator. So here you can see in the figure a DC generator in which current is supplied to the field binding from an external DC source is called separately excited DC generator. The flux produced by the poles depends upon the field current within the unsaturated region of the magnetic material of the poles. This flux is directly proportional to the field current, that is IF. But in saturated region, the flux remains constant. So here you can see in the diagram that here between terminal A and B, their armature is there and this armature is generated voltage, that is E suffix G, and just you assume that this armature having a armature resistance, that is a RA, and IA armature current is flowing. So here you can see that this IA current is equal to the load current in this particular case. So terminal voltage can be written as V equal to EG minus IA into RA. This IA into RA is a voltage drop in the armature resistance. So if you consider the brush contact drop, then you can also write the equation for the terminal voltage. It can be written as V equal to EG minus IA RA minus 2 into V suffix B, where this V suffix V is the voltage drop across brush. Why we are multiplying by 2? Because here 2 brushes are there. So if you want to calculate the power developed by this separately excited DC generator, then this power developed can be written as EG into IA, where EG is a generated voltage and IA is a armature current. Now if you want to calculate the what is the power output, so power output means power across load. So what is the voltage across load? That is V, that is the terminal voltage, and current is the same, that means IL current is a IA. So you can say the power output is equal to V multiplied by load current, that is a IL, or you can say, you can also write power output is equal to voltage multiplied by armature current. Now we are going to discuss self-excited DC generator. A DC generator whose field binding is excited by the current supplied by the generator itself is called self-excited DC generator. In a self-excited DC generator, the field coils may be connected in parallel with the armature, in series with the armature, or partly in series and partly in parallel with the armature binding. Accordingly, the self-excited generator may be classified, which are as follows. First one is a shunt bound generator. In this generator, the field winding is connected across the armature winding, forming a parallel or shunt circuit. Therefore, full terminal voltage is applied across the field winding. A very small current, that is a shunt current, flows through it because this winding has many turns of the fine wire having very high resistance of the order of around 100 ohm. So here you can notice in the diagram that this field winding, which is connected between terminal F and E, is connected across the terminal A and B, and between terminal A and B armature are there. So current flowing through this armature is a IA, and current flowing through field winding, or you can say through the terminal FE, that is a ISH, and load current is IL, and terminal voltage across load is V. So now if you want to calculate what is the value of this shunt current, so value of shunt current can be written as IS is equal to terminal voltage V divided by the resistance of the shunt field winding, that is RSH. So ISH is equal to V upon RSH, where RSH is the shunt field winding resistance. The field current ISH is practically constant at all loads, and therefore the DC shunt machine is considered to be constant flux machine. Now here you can notice that current through armature IA is equal to these two current, that is ISH plus IL. So you can write armature current IA is equal to IL plus ISH. Now if you are interested to calculate the terminal voltage, so just apply the KVL in A, B, C, D. So you can write terminal voltage V equal to EG minus IARA, and if you are considering the voltage drop across brush, then you can write the equation for the terminal voltage V equal to EG minus IARA minus 2 V suffix B. So what is the power developed through this shunt bound generator? Power developed is equal to EG into IA, and power output across load which is connected between terminal C and D, it is equal to V into IL, where IL is the load current and V is the terminal voltage across load. Now we are going to discuss series bound generator. In this generator, the field winding is connected in series with the armature winding, forming a series circuit. Therefore, full line current IL or armature current IA flows through it. Since the series field winding carries full load current, it has few turns of thick wire having low resistance, usually the order of less than 1 ohm. So now if you want to write the expression for this series bound generator, so because field winding is connected in series with the armature, that means armature current is equal to field current, that is ISC, and load is also connected in series. So you can say series field current ISC equal to IL is equal to IA, where RAC is a series field winding resistance. Now if you want to write the expression for the terminal voltage V, so terminal voltage V can be written as EG minus IARA minus ISE into RAC, where this EG is a generated voltage from the armature, IARA is a voltage drop across armature resistance, and IAC into RAC is voltage drop across series field winding. Now if you are considering the voltage drop across brush is V suffix B, now there is a 2 brush, so again you can write the expression for the terminal voltage V equal to EG minus IA RA plus RAC minus 2 V suffix B. So power developed is equal to what? Power developed is nothing but it is EG into IA, and power output across the load can be written as V into IL, because IL is armature current is equal to the series field winding current ISC. So you can also write power output is equal to V into IL is equal to V into IA or equal to V into ISE. The flux developed by series field binding is directly proportional to the current flowing through it. So that means this flux is directly proportional to the series field current, that is ISC. However, it is only true before magnetic saturation. After saturation, flux becomes constant even if the current flowing through it is increased. Now we are going to discuss compound bound generator. In a compound bound generator, there are two sets of field binding on each pole. One of them is connected in series, which having few turns of the thick wire, and other is connected in parallel, which have many turns of the fine wire with the armature. Compound bound generator may be classified as long shunt compound bound generator and short shunt compound bound generator. So first we are going to discuss long shunt compound bound generator. In long shunt compound bound generator, the shunt field binding is connected in parallel with the combination of both the armature and series field binding as shown in the figure. Here you can see that between terminal A and B there is a armature, and armature is connected in series with the series field binding resistance, and shunt field binding resistance is connected between terminal F and G, which is connected across terminal E and A, and load is connected between terminal C and D, and current flowing through armature is IA, which is flowing through terminal A and E, and current flowing through terminal EFGA, that is ISH, and load current is IL, which is flowing through ECDA. So shunt field current can be written as ISH is equal to B upon RSH, and series field current is basically is equal to the armature current, and here you can notice that this armature current is equal to the load current plus shunt field current, that is ISC is equal to IA is equal to IL plus ISH. So if you want to calculate the terminal voltage across the load that is connected between terminal C and D, so expression for terminal voltage V can be written as Eg minus IARA minus ISERAC, where this IARA is a voltage drop across armature resistance and ISERAC is voltage drop across series field binding resistance. So as you know that this current IAC is equal to IA, because this series field binding is connected in series with the armature current. So you can write IAC is equal to IA. So terminal voltage can be written as Eg minus IA in bracket RA plus RAC. If voltage drop across brush is considered, then you can write the expression for the terminal voltage V is equal to Eg minus IA multiplied by RA plus RAC minus 2 multiplied by voltage drop across brush, that is V suffix B. So what is the power developed? Power developed is equal to Eg into IA, and power output across load is V into IL. Now we are going to discuss about the short shunt compound generator. In this generator, the shunt field binding is connected in parallel with only armature binding, as you can see in the figure. So here you can notice that series field current IAC is equal to what? That is a load current IL. So if you want to calculate the shunt field current ISH, so this ISH can be written as ISH is equal to terminal voltage V plus IL into RAC upon RSH. This can also be written as ISH is equal to Eg minus IA RA upon RSH. So what is the value of this armature current? The value of this armature current can be written as IA is equal to IL plus ISH, because this armature current is the summation of the two current, that is field current, shunt field current and series field current. Now if you want to calculate the terminal voltage across the load that is connected between terminal C and D, so terminal voltage V can be written as Eg minus IARA minus IL into RAC, and if you are considering the voltage drop across brush, then you can write terminal voltage V equal to Eg minus IARA minus IL into RAC minus 2 multiplied by V suffix B, where this V suffix V is the voltage drop across brush. So what is the power developed in case of short shunt compound generator? So power developed is equal to Eg into Ia, and power output across load can be written as V into IL, where V is the terminal voltage and IL is a load current. Now we are going to discuss cumulative and differential compound bound generator. In compound bound DC generator, the field is produced by the shunt as well as series winding. Generally, the shunt field is stronger than the series field. When series field assists the shunt field, the generator is called as cumulative compound bound generator as shown in the figure. So here you can see in the figure that shunt field and series field is producing the flux in the same direction. So and this direction of the this flux can be checked with help of the this screw rule. Here if you apply the rule, then you will be able to find that if you like, suppose this is a pole, just you hold like this. So here this finger will show the direction of the current and this thumb will show the direction of the flux. So here you can notice that both the flux, that is flux produced by the series field winding and flux produced by the shunt field winding, are in same direction. That means both the flux are additive in nature. So that's why it is called cumulative compound bound generator. When series field opposes the shunt field, the generator is known as differential compound bound generator. Here you can see in the figure. So here you can see that flux produced by the shunt field binding is in downward direction and field produced by the series field binding is in upward direction. That means these two flux are opposing each other. That's why it is called differential compound bound generator. Now we are going to discuss voltage buildup in shunt generator. So here you can see in figure that shunt generator, here shunt field binding is connected across the terminal A. So in the shunt field binding resistance, current flowing is ISH, and this armature is producing the voltage E suffix G, and it is moving with angular velocity omega, and the armature resistance of this armature can be considered as RA. So here you can notice that one switch is connected between field binding and armature, and this switch is represented by capital K. And this second figure, that is figure B, shows the open circuit characteristic of DC shunt generator. The shunt generator is a self-excited DC generator whose field binding is supplied with the current from the output of the generator itself. However, question arises how it can supply current to the field winding before the voltage being generated, and if the voltage current is not supplied, how can the voltage be generated? Let us find out its answer from the following explanation. The open circuit characteristic of DC generator are shown in the figure. The shunt field resistance is represented by a straight line, that is OX. When armature is rotated at a constant speed of omega radian per second, the small residual flux of the poles is cut by the armature conductor, and very small EMF, which is represented by OA, is induced in the armature. Now, if this switch K is connected in the shunt field binding as shown in figure, the current OB flows in the field binding. This current increases the flux produced by the poles, and voltage generated in the armature is increased to OC. That further increases the field current to OD. Further, this build up the voltage, this building up action comes to an end at point F, where this open circuit characteristic intersects the shunt field resistance line OX. It is because beyond this point the induced voltage is less than that required to maintain the corresponding field current. So the field current in the field winding is EF, and the final voltage built up by generator for a given open circuit characteristic is OE as shown in figure. Now we are going to discuss example. Here you can see that a 4-pole DC generator with wave connected armature has 41 slots and 12 conductor per slot. Armature resistance RA is 0.5 ohm. Shunt resistance, that is RSS, is equal to 200 ohm. Flux per pole is equal to 125 milliweber, and speed is given as 1000 rpm. You have to calculate voltage across 10 ohm load resistance across the armature terminal. So from the given question, just you extract what parameters are given. Like here, number of poles are given as 4, so just you write P equal to 4, and armature resistance is given 0.5, so you can write RA is equal to 0.5 ohm. Field winding, that is shunt field winding resistance, is 200 ohm, so just you write RS is equal to 200 ohm. Flux phi is equal to 125 milliweber, so you can write 125 into 10 to the power minus 3 Weber, and speed is given 1000 rpm, so N equal to 1000 rpm, and load resistance RL is also given, that is 10 ohm. So here number of slots are given 41, and what the other parameter are given, that is number of conductor per slot is 12. That means what will be the armature of the conductor, which is denoted by Z. So number of armature conductor Z equal to what? 41 into 12, that is 492. Because binding is given as a wave binding, so number of parallel path A equal to what? Is equal to 2. So now you can find out the generated voltage easy. So formula of generated voltage is equal to what? P phi Zn upon 60 into A. So what is the value of P? That is a 4. Value of flux is what? 125 into 10 to the power minus 3. And number of armature conductor given as 492, and speed is given 1000, and parallel path is what? Because is equal to 2, because it is a wave binding is a wave binding. So after putting all these value, you are able to find generated EMF is equal to 2050 volt. Now you have to calculate the load current, that is IL. So IL is equal to what? V upon RL. So it can be written as IL equal to V upon 10, because value of load resistance is what? That is a 10. So load current IL is equal to V upon 10 ampere. Similarly, you can write the expression for the shunt field current, that is ISH. So ISH is equal to what? V upon RSH. And value of the shunt field winding are given, that is 200 ohm. So value of shunt field current ISH is equal to what? It is V upon 200 ampere. Now as you know, if you are apply the KCL in given circuit, so this armature current can be written as IA equal to what? IL plus ISH. So value of this IL is what? It is V upon 10, and value of ISH is what? It is V upon 200. So value of this armature current is equal to what? 21 V upon 200 ampere. As you know, this generated EMF EG can be written as V plus IARA, and value of EG, that is generated EMF, is 2050, and you assume that terminal voltage V is equal to V. Just put the value of IA. Value of IA is equal to what? 21 V upon 200, and armature resistance is 0.05. So after the solving, you will be able to write the expression like 2050 equal to 421 V upon 400. So you can write V equal to what? 2050 multiplied by 400 upon 421. So it comes 1947.74 volt. Now second example we are going to discuss. A short shunt cumulative compound DC generator supplies 7.5 kilowatt at 230 volt. The shunt field, series field and armature resistance are 100, 0.3 and 0.4 ohm. Calculate the induced EMF and the load resistance. So first of all, just you draw the short shunt cumulative compound generator, and just you write all the value are given, like RSS is given 100 ohm, this RAC is given 0.3 ohm, armature resistance are given 0.4 ohm, terminal voltage is 230 volt, and load is given as 7.5 kilowatt. So this load current IL can be written as power divided by voltage. So power is what? 7.5 kilowatt. So just multiplied by 1000 to convert into watt. So IL is equal to 7.5 into 1000 divided by 230. So it comes 32.61 ampere. Now if you want to calculate the value of this shunt field current, so this shunt field current can be written as voltage across the armature, and so voltage across the armature is what? That is V, terminal voltage 230 plus voltage drop across series field winding resistance, that is IL into RAC. So ISH can be written as V plus IL RAC upon RSH. Value of V is what? 230, and value of IL you have already calculated, that is 32.61. Value of RAC is given 0.31. Value of RS is given 100. So after the solving, this value comes 2.39 ampere. So IA can be written as IL plus ISH, and value of IL is 32.61 and value of ISH is 2.39. So just you add this 32.61 plus 2.39, it is equal to 35 ampere. Now you have to calculate the induced EMF. So what is the value of this induced EMF in this case? So induced EMF EG can be written as V plus IL RAC plus IA RA. Just you put all the value of V, IL, RAC, IA, RA and solve it. So this value of this induced EMF comes 253.78 volt. Now you have to calculate the value of this load resistance. So as you know, the value of this load resistance can be calculated as RL is equal to V square upon P, where V is the terminal voltage and P is the power. So value of V is what? That is 230, and value of P is what? 7.5 kilowatt. So just put all these two parameter in this expression and you solve it. Then you are able to calculate this value of load resistance RL is equal to 7.053 ohm. So dear learner, in today's session we discussed type of DC generator, like separately excited DC generator, and under self-excited DC generator category we have discussed series bound, shunt bound and compound bound generator. Hope you were able to learn all the concept. In the next session we will discuss causes of the failure to build up the voltage in a generator. Then we will discuss working principle of DC motor, torque equation of DC motor and importance of the back EMF in DC motor. Thank you very much.